Already know. Okay. Let's start with Byleth. Now, Byleth, I like the lore behind them. They were silent, but they were like a likable silent protagonist. Not as good as who's the silent protags? Yeah, Byleth, right? Byleth's is like, yeah, I would say Byleth's like the best silent protag in Fire Emblem. I think we could kind of all agree on that, maybe. Because it's like you have Mark, it doesn't really even count. And I think that's it, there's no one else. Robin, Corin, Chris, they all talk. So, Byleth, I would say in Three Hopes they were improved. They didn't do more with them, but that doesn't take away from them. It's more it takes away from their potential. If it takes away from their potential, I'm not gonna lower them, because that's just the game not making use of them. But that doesn't take away from the good that they did with them, which I did enjoy their supports. I think they were cute. This is kind of hard to rank, because it's like, do I think Byleth's a good character? I would say Byleth's at least good, because they're still a good silent they're not fantastic, but I still like them. I think it's perfect to put them right in the middle. It kind of even sets a benchmark in a way, so I think I'll just put them there. And then female I like way better, just because bias. Especially in Three Hopes, the voice acting was done really good. I like Shez and their support. I like how Byleth was kind of... I'm gonna be reiterating a lot from that video, so this is gonna be... It's probably not gonna even be as good. So I might just post that video anyway, just so you guys could compare it. But I'll be just reiterating. I laid out my thoughts way better in that video. But basically, I like the supports with Byleth and her dad. I think like they did a good job like keeping the silent protag and translating it into a not silent character by making her still kind of stiff, but it kind of goes with her character still, because the whole point of them is that they're very stoic and like they don't have a beating heart and all that. So it's like they did a good job of kind of doing that where it worked and not just being like, oh, I get it, because they didn't have a character, so then we're not really gonna give them a character. It felt like in this way, I would say it worked. So I will say as an antagonist, up until the point they stopped being an antagonist, they were very scary. They did a good job making them seem really intimidating. So I like that about it. I can't see the letter tiers from the slight zoom. Gotcha, thanks for letting me know. Let me fix that for you guys. Is this bad? Did it? There we go. Is that better? Okay, I think it's better now. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. Sophist. Okay, Sophist. I'll put Sophist in... Yeah, because I don't really dislike Sophist. They just don't do a lot with her in Three Houses. Like, I got a little sad when she left, so I guess that means I at least like them. They didn't do a lot. I will say I was interested to see how, like, intimidating she was. Like, she didn't lose her memory in the Three Hopes, so I think that's why she was very, intimidating. Like, she was more of her regular personality and stuff. So, I will put her in, like... I don't think she's good, but I still like Sophie. She's fine. I guess, like, I'll put, like, fine. Like, they're fine, but they're not special. Raya, okay. Raya? I actually love Raya. Her voice acting's really great, and I think that kind of sells the character for me in a way. I think I'm gonna put her here. what's funny is that Raya, before the game came out, like when I was going into the game, I had such a weird like vibe with Raya. I didn't know anything about the game. I was thinking they were setting her up as the villain. So when Edelgard ended up as the villain and she was more of like, out of the two, she seemed more at like the good one, I would say. It felt shocking because it's like she just gave off the vibe like she could snap, but you only see it in one route, and that route's not even a good route. So it's like it's just amazing how my opinion on her changed so much when she didn't even turn out bad in the routes that I first did, and overall, to be honest. But even as an antagonist, she's great. Her going crazy is great. I like both sides to her personality. I like that she has that layer to her that she'll do anything to like basically avenge her mother and do any. Like I like her dedication to her mother and how that makes her like a compelling antagonist. And I just like how she aids Byleth. I like their relationship. She's a very sweet character. I like her connections with C3 and Gerald. And I like, you know, Seta, Flane, all that. She's really cool as Cyril's. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna put Cyril's, cause she's cooler. I think I like Raya's a memorable character to me. Like she's not my she's like just edging out a favorite. For those who don't know, my brother Raya's his favorite character, I think. Is it? Well, he's not one to pick a favorite, but I know he really likes Raya. Like, Raya was one of his favorite characters. For me, probably slightly less, so I'll put it like for him, it'll probably be up here, for me, it'll be here. But I agree with most of the things he liked about her. Sedif, or I guess now we know the big reveal, he's, Saint Keyhole, right? Sedif, I would put also here. He was great. I love that he started out as like this, like he doesn't like you at first. I like how he developed complete trust. Like he was skeptical of you, and then when you save his daughter, it's like that was how they found a way to develop his character. It's a classic arc in Three Houses. The first time seeing it was very good. I like the Flame arc. Not replaying it. I hate that arc on replay, but doing it the first time, it was very fun. Okay, I'll stop being dumb. Just put regular Sedif. Yeah, he's a great character. He has a really good support with Flame is amazing. He's voiced by Dio in the Japanese, so that's cool. He's just a great character. Like, I don't really have much to say. He's just, everyone loves him. It's just, he's just written really well. A very good aid to Raya. Okay, Flane. Flane, honestly, put all three there. Flane is like, even though she's not like, it's very hard to describe, because sometimes you don't need a character to be like so complex to be incredibly likable. That's where Flane falls in. Like, she's just such a cinnamon roll of a character. She literally looks like one. So it's like, this character has the most satisfying voice. Like, it's the only time I've heard this voice actor, and she did like, she's just so pleasant to listen to. Like when she talks, she's just so adorable. I like her relationship with Sedif. I like, she had a support with Ash. I forgot Sir and Raphael that I really liked. She's just like peak adorableness. Like, I know Rainy really likes Flame. That's like her favorite character, and I don't blame her. She's just like, there's just some characters, they don't necessarily have to be super crazy for it. You don't have to have a reason to like a character. And Flame's one of those, where she's not like Bernadetta, for example, where like, oh, look how cute and scared I am. And some people love that. For me, it didn't work. For Flane, it did. The dragon. Who? Literally who? Gerald. Oh, this I'm excited to rank. Gerald's amazing. Now, here's the thing with Gerald. Like, I really liked him in 3 Houses. I felt like he died too quick, so he didn't reach like Grail. Like Grail, I loved a lot, and like his death and how they wrote it, and like the reactions afterwards, I actually teared up. Like, it actually got, like, they pulled that off in a Fire Emblem. Because I know they're always killing dads in Fire Emblem, but that was the only one that actually got me. This one was like, it was predictable, and it was just like, eh. Like, the death wasn't, like, it's sad seeing Byleth how affected, but like, his character, like, I was waiting for when they actually did something. Oh, hi, Relevant. Dang, I haven't seen you in a while. Flane also has funny supports. Yeah, I agree. I should have mentioned that. She's funny. Nothing tops screaming Wrath and Flame. That's exactly what I was referring to. That was such a funny moment, saying that. Like, that out of context clip was so funny. I see it in a lot of videos like that. But Gerald, anyway. Gerald, it was more so like he kind of just died. And it's like he was good up until he died, but he never reached like a certain potential. And then on top of that, he, if you replay the game, he's the only major character from the pre-time skip arc that doesn't have a post-time skip, like, anything, because he's dead already. So, like, every time you replay the game, you see all these different changes to every character. For him, his arc is exactly the same, so there came a point where I forgot about him, because I always just skipped through the part 1 of 3 Houses. It's just the same stuff over and over again. So it's like, I almost forgot how good he was when I played 3 Hopes, when he actually is playable, he has supports. He's just a great character. Like, I liked him a lot, and I ship him with Manuelo super hard. Like, oh my god. Are they, like, so wonderful together. And then I like his relationship with his daughter. I like, he's the narrator. Very good narrator, very good voice. He's just like chill, and like he puts himself like he's not a big deal, but he kind of has that vibe where he's a very chill character. He puts people like above him, like he's not like, he's very easygoing. Like, he doesn't say things to offend anyone, really. He's just tired and just doing his job. It's just, I like his whole personality. It's unique. It's cool. Alois. Alois? Is he good or like? It's hard to say, because I feel like, I think I'm gonna put him in good. Alois is a good character, because I remember seeing a Shamir support with him when I did one of my, I was doing like this speedrun route in 3 Houses. I was trying to like do something with the Renown. Shaky was there. And I saw the support with him in Japanese, and it was like really good. Like, that kind of stuck with me. And he's a funny character. He has dumb puns. I like his trope. It's a very funny trope. I like the fact he makes bad puns. That's funny. Byleth dialogue options was so irrelevant in OG3 Houses. So many of them don't matter. Gerald just lived a long time and done with all the church's susness. Yeah, I don't have much to say about Luis. Honestly, I'll just put fine. I don't think he's that good, actually. Catherine. Now, Catherine, I literally in that video where I'm ranking all of them, I literally sit down and watch the Ash Catherine support that's so popular, and she went from here to here. Just from that support. But honestly, overall, I think she's still not that crazy. Because just because you have one good support, that doesn't make you automatically, like, you know, amazing. I'm not gonna put her above Alois. So she went up a tier. She used to be here, but I think she's fine. Catherine, I like the whole thing with Lord Otto and Ash. That's pretty much her only interesting thing. I do not like her obsession with Lady Raya. Like, I don't like that trope. All of them are terrible in this game, other than one character or two that do it right. Everybody else, it sucks, and we'll be getting to a certain someone that, and Three Hopes in particular. I'm actually excited to finally rank that character. But yeah, she's fine. She's a cool design, very cool. I'm not, and then she's too like, I don't know. I'm just not big on her. I don't know. Shamir? I think I'm gonna put Shamir in favorite. I think she's gonna be our first fish. Shamir, I remember by the end of Three Houses, I adored Shamir. I'm like this, I love characters with this personality. They're always my favorite. Like, I like when they're, like, they kind of have a tragic, interesting, like, storyline to them. I like when they're, like, kind of stoic. Not in, like, a very, like, I hate when they write, like, female characters as a man. Like, they shouldn't do that, because then it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain, but I feel like they still write her in a way that's like very she's a great character. She's empathetic. I like her supports. Good voice acting. I'm trying to think of, it's because right now I'm trying to think of like example support. For all of them, I like to at least pick one support so I could like remember. And I haven't used Shamir in such a long time, so I'm like trying to really remember like a really good support with her. All I know is that by the end of Three Houses, I felt strongly about this character. Like, everything across the board was good. She had good supports. She doesn't do anything wrong that annoying. She's not an annoying character. It's a very likable character. Very cool design. I like how she's kind of like, oh, she's blunt. That's where I was trying to get at. She's like a blunt character, but she's the type of blunt I like. Like, she's not a mean character. Just because you're blunt, some people misinterpret that as being mean. It could come off rude, but it doesn't necessarily, it just means they're honest. I actually like that though. Depending. Because it's like she's still a kind character. And I like how, I kind of liked her relationship with Leonie, like how she was like, in her paralogue in Three Hopes, like watching over her. Like, it showed how like a really nice, outgoing character clashes against her, and she genuinely cares for characters like that. Even though she's not like that herself, I love that dynamic. It's very, very cute. Yeah, I to this day I wish they made all the adult characters get like a game where it shows like their backstory and you actually see them, how they met Raya and stuff. It's really frustrating we never got to see that. Okay, next. Cyril. Now Cyril, I actually... This is hard, because it's like, he's kind of right on the edge for me. He used to be down here and be like my least favorite character. Cyril has really grown on me. A lot. Because he's a character that speaks straight facts. Like, the times that he says something good, it's really good. But it's very far in between. Like, he's an Almiron too. Like, he's an Almiron character. Like, you would think he would have been a popular character. Just the fact he's the only Almiron representation other than Claude. So it's just like, it's cool, but they didn't do a lot with him, and what brings him down is his Raya simping. I will say it's not as annoying as Catherine though. I don't know why. Like, for him it fits. Because in a way, it's kind of cute, because it's like, she did take him in, and he's very loyal to, like, he's very, what's the word, like, he's efficient, like, he gets work done, he's doing chores all the time and stuff. Like, I like that about him. He's hardworking and like he wants to pay back everything for. I think that's really cool. And Catherine and him share that. It's just Catherine is not done as well in my opinion. Not that his is any better, but I like his Manuelo support and Hilda and someone else where he kind of would just speak straight facts in their face. He's funny, like he actually has a funny quality to him. He's real, and I like that about him. So I think I'm gonna actually put him in good. Like I want to use Cyril. If I do a PMU of 3 houses, I kind of want to use Cyril. Cause he's a cool character, I like him. I don't like his voice. His voice is alright. It kind of grew on me, but it's not. He improved a little. I think in 3 Hopes he did a little better job. Hanuman, I'm gonna put in great. He's gonna be our first great. I would say Ruben kind of influenced this a little bit, because when somebody tells you how much they love a character, it makes you kind of notice them more. That's kind of just the nature of things. It highlights them and gives them more attention. Originally, he used to be down here with all the other adult characters, but he's a really cool character. Like, I didn't realize how cool this character is. He's our old man character, other than Gerald, but like, you know, old character. He has such a dapper, like, I like both his English and Japanese. I like his whole obsession with Crest. Him and Manuela are hilarious. His Japanese voice made me like him even more, because I just love how he delivered his lines. He sounds very... this guy's straight out of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Like, he's just like... He's so awesome. I love Hanuman. It's hard to... I didn't see every support with him, but again, it's like, just because I didn't see everything to him, it's like, he's just great. He's just a silly old man that loves Crest, and I think that's cool. Manuela, I'm gonna put in good. She used to be an but I think Manuela's actually funny. Like, she has a handful of things that it's funny, because originally I remember being like, oh, this character's gonna be so cool, and then she kind of wasn't that cool, but then she kind of went back up for me again, because I feel like I like her supports with Gerald. I think she's funny. She's a comedic character, but she's not like Camilla type of fan service character. She's like a good fan service character. She's Camilla done right, I would say. I like that she's like gets drunk and that she's always trying to find a lover and always having love problems. It's funny. Her and Cyril support is a Cyril Manuelo supports is a standout. And yeah, I think I like the thing with her and Shez. I think that was hilarious. How Shez, she was actually flirting with Shez, like, a lot. It's funny. Her flirting is way more funnier than someone like Dorothea, and we'll get to that. I would say she does what Dorothea does, but better when it comes to that. Gatekeeper, easy favorite. He's the best NPC character in any video game I've played. I never got so attached to an NPC like I did in 3 Houses. Now, the thing I will say, I hate when they do this, till the end of time I'm gonna hate when they do this. I don't like when things are subtle and then they try to market off of them. So like, Gatekeeper was a subtle NPC that people kind of just notice, like, oh, that's the guy that's always like, he's so cool, like everyone will go online and talk about Gatekeeper, like, oh my god, do you see like how funny this character is? He's such a wholesome character. I love the guy. He's voiced by and then they put him in Fae, then they put him in 3 Hopes as a playable character. He gets all this art and he becomes like if he's an actual character. That I hate when they do that. That's equivalent to like when I said this when I was doing ranking movies, when they do like things like, oh, there's Finding Nemo, and you know what's so funny about Finding Nemo? Everyone loves Dory, so let's do Finding Dory and make her the main character. Like, no, don't do that. That's stupid. Like, it's so obvious, and it kills it. It kills the joke. It's like saying, hey, Gatekeeper, remember him? How funny he is? He's a character now. Like, you know, that's dumb to me. It's not as bad as the Finding Dory situation, but I would say, like, because of that, like, if I was going based on how I felt about him now, it's just like, eh. But, like, I'm not gonna forget how I felt about him originally. But, like, the joke of Gatekeeper's kind of getting old, and it's just like, eh. But I still love him. Hi, Dark Luster, how you doing? Hi, Devin, how you doing? Manuelo does what Dorothea Heroes only added Gatekeeper because of votes by people. That is true. But it's the fact they even allowed it, like that he could be voted for. So, and they kind of knew what they were doing by doing that. Tomas, do I just go by both? Wait, this is Tomas, right? Yeah, this is Tomas. I was thinking like, wait, I thought I said Talus, but that Talus is his name, okay. Well, we never got to see the original. This is the only character where you didn't see the original, so I can't even rank him. But I guess we'll rank his form, and he's just the librarian, whatever. Dimitri, okay, we're getting to big stuff now. Okay, so we're doing Blue Lions first. Okay, I'm actually glad about that. We're gonna use like my favorite design. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick my favorite design of the character. Okay, so Dimitri. Mitri is an amazing character. He's not one of my favorites because there's some issues I have with him. His development's fantastic. Good voice acting. I did criticize the voice acting slightly, but that was just me being nitpicky. But people, they say how fantastic his voice acting is. I'm not as big as a fan as everyone else. I do think it's still top tier, just not as much as everyone else does. Like, in my opinion, Raya has better voice acting than Dimitri. Like, that's to really give you an idea. Like, let that sink in. I think Raya has better voice acting than Dimitri. I mean, the one who voices Raya is my favorite voice actor of all time. So that's just to give you guys my standard of voice acting. Like, I think Dimitri is good, but I do feel there was some issues I caught in Three Hopes especially. Regardless, I don't know why I even brought that up. He's above, like, and beyond most of the cast, and it's a standout when it comes to that. But let's talk about his character. So I do like that he goes feral. That was super interesting. It's to the point I thought that was his father. When we first saw the trailer of Three Houses showing the time skip, I didn't know it was a time skip. I thought that was their parents. Because Dimitri looks so different, I thought that was his dad. I didn't know that was Dimitri. It was the funniest thing ever. I was in my reaction to Three Houses, I'm literally saying, their parents? Why? I'm thinking it's their parents. I'm so dumb. But it's because of him. He was the talk of that trailer. Because it's like, what happened to Dimitri? It was so interesting. And I would say it was very good. I love it. I don't like how he turned back to normal. I think the scene where he turns back to normal is not good. That's not more so Dimitri's fault, more so, again, it's the Three Houses' fault. Sometimes I'm not gonna say blame the story. There's a difference between the character and the story. Because I do think, like, it was fine, but I do kind of agree he changed kind of too quickly. And I don't know, I'm not a big Cherami Lee. Yeah, Cherami Lee is my favorite, the GOAT, the best. Her and Laura Bailey, they're the best when it comes to anything. But yeah, he's a good character. I like how he's very, like, chivalrous and, like, a true king. Like, he gives the vibe of a king. Like, he's the they took the archetype of, like, a Ephraim type, or not Ephraim, but you get what I'm trying to say, like the tough Lance Lord from the olden Fire Emblem days, but put a spin on him and gave him darkness, and I think that was really cool. Also, sorry if I keep jumbling my words a lot. I'm a little tired today, so if I don't get my thoughts out like in the best way possible, I apologize. But in that video, I think I did a better job. But these are I'm just spitballing right now. So yeah, okay, the do. What's the design I like better? Is it weird? I kind of like. I kind of like the beard to do. Like, I like the hair. The beard, yeah, like, I agree. It doesn't bother me as much as other people. The do. Where am I putting the do? I'm gonna put the do in great. The do really grew on me in 3 hopes. I like his loyalty to Dimitri is fantastic. Like, I like... He's just... The only reason I'm not ranking him higher is because it's not really his fault. It's his character. Like, his character is stoic and quiet, so that's just him. But because of that, sometimes you can't really, like... How do I explain? At least for me. Like, this doesn't mean for everyone, just for me. Like, because he's a, like, simple, quiet character, he doesn't scream much sometimes. So because of that, he's not, like, as interesting to me, like Dimitri, for example, or Raya, if that makes sense. But that's not to say that what he... Like, everything he does is great, though. That's why I'm putting him in a great. It's like he's right here on the edge, honestly, and it's only because of that personality. That's why he can't go any higher for me. But his scene with Dimitri and Crimson Flower almost made me tear up. Very good scene. His scene when he's giving the errand board to Dimitri, when he's kind of like in a down mood in 3 hopes, one of my favorite scenes in both games. Like, he's such a cool character. You love that to do too? That's good to hear. Okay, yeah, I like the hair and the beard. It actually looks cool. It's just on the model it looks weird. It kind of has the Claude effect, or it's just like, what? Why? But it still kind of looks cold, if that makes sense. Like, it's cool. Great character. He really grew on me. I love how he's so, like, owing Dimitri, like, for doing what he did for him, and, like, he's just, like, he'll serve him to the very end. Like, he's such an epic character. I love to do. I'm, like, so close to putting him in amazing, but I don't know. I'll put him in amazing. You know what? I'm convinced. I think, because I see the other characters in amazing, and I feel like he's about as good as all of them. So yeah, I think I'll put him there. I like to do a lot. Felix. I kind of like ponytail Ariana Grande hair, Felix. So when someone said that, Chow was cracking up so much, but I disagree. I like his hair. Felix is a favorite, easily. After I beat Blue Lions, Felix was my favorite Blue Lions. I loved him. I think everyone mostly, like, likes Felix. I love how he's the conflict between, like, Dimitri. Like, he does not like Dimitri. And he's always poking at him, calling him a bore. And I like his dynamic with Sylvain and Ingrid. The thing with his dad, because he got so upset about saying he died a chivalrous death, like the brother and stuff, with Glenn and stuff out. Like, he has so many interesting things to him. But then he also has, like, cute things with Annette and, like, Cynthia. Like, he has everything to him. He's the whole package. Very unique voice. Just fascinating character. All his supports are good. Every single Felix support is good. People say he's the edgelord, but... And he is supposed to, like, be the edgelord. Like, he's supposed to be that cool sword master that every game has. But honestly, he has a tsundere vibe to him. that makes him not as traditional of a Navarre as you might think. He's kind of a tsundere as well, so that makes him a lot different. He's also just a lot nicer. Like he's nice. He just doesn't show it. That's a tsundere. So he's a tsundere edgelord and a good edgelord. Ash. It's funny because Ash's design grew on me in 3 Hopes, but that's more because of the graphics, I think. But I still like 3 Houses the best. Ash is actually going to be... this is hard for me because Ash is one of the few that he used to be like I think my least favorite character, and now like Ash really grew on me. Like I'm almost wanting to put him in great because technically there's like he has the Lord Ronaldo thing, which is really cool. The thing with Yuri, his support was great. His support with Catherine is fantastic. It kind of shows that he has like he could get tough. Like you think he's just like a wholesome boy, but he actually could get angry, and I like that he has that side to him as well. But he's very wholesome. I like his obsession with heroes and books and legends and all that. He's a good character. I like Ash. He's just a very likable character. I think I'll put him in great. Sylvain, this was my favorite design. I loved his 3 Hopes design. I'm gonna put Sylvain in... He's actually like... I don't know. I think I'll put it... Just to be safe, I'll put him in Amazing. He was like right almost in favorites. Because next to Felix, he was definitely my favorite Blue Lions. Even more than Dimitri. I like how he's the sane archetype. He's flirty, but then he has like this whole reason behind it because he feels like he was treated a certain way just because of his crest. So he kind of purposely plays the act. The only thing I never understood is that even though he's purposely playing the act on purpose, he is that way for real. Because it's like he is doing it, like it's weird because it's like he's doing it for a reason. But he's actually like that for real. But maybe he exaggerates it. That's the only part I never understood. But his Mercedes support's amazing. I ship them hard. I like his bromance with Felix is incredible. I like him and Ingrid is really good. His loyalty to Dimitri is actually really good. I like how mature people. A lot of people say he matured in 3 Hopes. I agree. He's one of the few characters that got even better in 3 Hopes. Felix is like probably the same. It was just as good. While Sylvain got like slightly better. Like I loved Sylvain in 3 Hopes. He was great. Yeah, he's a great character. Mercedes, oh, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be very, very hard. Honestly, you would think I'll like this design the most, but honestly... with how ugly the 3D model is, at first I did not like her 3D model. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one. I might just pick the original. I think I'm gonna settle her here. This is the thing that's hard on Mercedes, because she used to be one of my least favorites, but it's because of that voice acting, and because her character does. On top of that, like, this is the only time where the voice acting really, like, hit. Similar to Cyril, but it grew on me. I feel like Mercedes got even worse in 3 Hopes. When you switch it to Japanese, she has the flame effect, where they're just a healer, they're adorable, they don't do anything too crazy with the character, but they're just incredibly lovable. But I don't know how lovable. Like, I'm trying to remember, because I remember it was so much different that, to the point I put her up here after my Crimson Flower route, but I think that's an exaggeration. I think I'll just put her in great. Like, I like her thing with Emil. Oh, she has possibly my favorite support of all time, ironically. In 3 Houses at least. Her Yuritsa support in 3 Houses is amazing. I loved it. I think it was the only support to make me almost tear up. Very good support. The voice acting in Japanese was incredible, and it was just such a good support. But I think that's more Yuritsa that should get the credit. So I'm just gonna put her here. She's kind of hard to rank because I have to play the game in English so much and hear her other voice, and I just don't like her at all. So then I kind of forget how much I like her. Like, we switched it a few times, but those supports didn't do much for me at all, so it's like, I don't know. I think I'm safe putting her here. Annette. Okay, Annette. Which design I like more? My god, her face is so squishy in pre-time skip. Like, actually seeing them next to their time skip, you see how much they grow. Like, look at Ingrid, she barely looks different, her face, but Annette has like such a baby face, and then look how much it grows up in time skip. I kind of like this one the most. I'm gonna put Annette in Great. I loved Annette a lot. Like, she was one of the few that grew on me the most. Like, my brother loves Annette. He has supported her. Like, he loves her a lot. She's very down to earth. She's sweet. She's like a really relatable type character. She's just like normal. She's that girl next door type of character, and I think you need those once in a while. I like how she's like a songwriter. That's really funny. They really emphasize that. Like, I didn't know that was a trait of hers in 3 Houses. I thought that was just one support, and then it became like an entire thing in 3 Hopes. So I think that was funny. It wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, I think Annette's like a memorable character. And then, I hate the whole thing with Mercedes. I think it's funny. I don't even really hate it. It's just when Shaky pointed it out to me, I started cracking up so much that they're the best friend characters, yet they have a fight in their C support right away, really showing their friendship. And then they're still mad until after the time skip, and it's just like, what the heck? Like, you're trying to see like the best friends test of friendship, but do that in their B support, not in their C support. Like, you're supposed to convince us that they're besties, like Ignatz and Raphael, and you have them do that, and it's just like, how are these girls best friends? And they're like the sweetest people ever, and they choose them to do it with, and it's just like, it's not like it's like I don't even know you anymore. Like, I still remember the line with Mercedes, and then that's it. That's the last thing she says. And then 5 years later. Like, what the heck? That was stupid. I feel like they didn't mean to do that, and it kind of just, like, happened. Anyway, Ingrid, which design I like? I like both. It's funny, 3 Hopes grew on me so much. It might be just because of the graphics. Overall. Like, their mid-skip designs really grew on me. I'll go with this one. I think Ingrid's great as well. All the Blue Lions are just great and above, honestly, I think. I like how she's tragic. She has a tragic story with Glenn that's really sad. And I like how she's like a warrior type. She's like the warrior girl of the game. Being she's in the Blue Lions, they wanted to show like there's the knightly girl, but she still has like a feminine side to her that I think's really interesting. I like how she was gonna marry Felix's brother, and then he died in the tragedy. That whole plot line's really good. When she died in 3 Hopes, it was really sad. That was more sad than Randolph, and that wasn't even in the route we were doing. A lot of people really don't like. There's this. For the life of me, I don't get when people complain about characters having like a prejudice or like kind of, I don't even want to call it that. Well, that's not the word I want to use, because a lot of people misinterpret it like that. But I feel like everyone sees Tellius, and it's amazing how Tellius did it very well with Jill, so I think that's why people like it, but I would say Ingrid, they did it fine too. I don't know why people, they have this whole thing with her and the dude, like, she literally shows her growth within their support. Like, I feel like me and a lot of people seen two different supports. Like, I find it interesting them making characters like that and then showing their growth. I think that's fantastic, because it's like, it's showing how a person could be that way and then grow from it. Like, I don't get why people get so, like, crazy about that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, they get mad at the character, but do they realize that somebody did write this character? So wouldn't you be mad at the writer too? Like, I don't... Sometimes I can't tell what exactly they're getting mad at. It doesn't make sense to me. And we'll talk about this with Hilda as well, because I know that's a thing people like to bring up. But I think they handled it well. Her and the duo have really good growth. Even in Three Hopes especially, I feel like their bond was really, like, I love their bond in Three Hopes. And I do like that there's a reason for it too. Because it's like, not, again, it doesn't mean it's justified. That's not what it means. It means that there's an empathetic reason for why they might, and it wasn't even anything like super crazy. That's why I don't get why people blow it out of proportion. It's because of the whole thing with that happened to Glenn and Dusker. Like, that could happen to almost anyone if you really think about it. Like, anything that has to do with somebody dying, someone that they truly love, of course they're gonna have their whole mindset's gonna be different. It makes sense, especially in those time periods of war. That's just how things were. Doesn't mean it's okay, but it makes sense if you get what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, I'm not really sure why people even hate Ingrid so much. Because they act like Ingrid didn't even grow from that. That's what I don't get. Like, what's the point of writing a character if you're not even gonna show how they grow? Like, that's the whole point of what makes a good character. So it's like, I don't know, it's super weird to me. I don't know. I don't know much to say about that. All I know is that she was written well and that people need to relax. It's just a video game. Gustav. Now, Gustav, I remember after beating Blue Line, I liked how he was like an aide to Dimitri as well. It was very good. I feel like he should be in Great. He was actually here at one point because I just really liked him. Like, he was just a cool character. Like, honestly, I'll just put him in Great. All Blue Lions just go. This is the Blue Lions tier. She grows even after credits roll. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she is so normal. So much so I forgot she has a crest. I don't play Azure Moon often because of that final boss, so I tend to forget. They become work buddies if they get paired endings. You see? That's cool. Like, it doesn't even make sense because it's like if a character themselves is forgiving another character, who is someone else to be unforgiving? I never understood that. Even in real life. Like the dude forgives Ingrid for the way she acts, and they become good friends. It's like, it doesn't make sense why people will be like... Now, if he didn't and they still hated each other, then it'll make sense, but it's like, they literally get over their beef. They don't even really have beef. It's really like, I wouldn't even call it beef, it's just a complicated situation. Rodrigue, I'm gonna put in Great. He used to be up here too, but I think similar to Gustav, like maybe I exaggerated how good he was, but I just really enjoyed him in Three Houses. I like that he's the dad that's nothing like his son. He's like the one that like has conflict with his son. I like that whole dynamic. Like, he doesn't like him because of how he felt about Glenn's death and stuff. I like how he's very loyal to Dimitri's dad and Dimitri, and then Felix kind of, you kind of see that, especially in Three Hopes, like he kind of becomes the next Roderick to the king and stuff, which is really cool. Let's see. This guy, what's this? Who? Miklon was actually like, he was going somewhere. Like, I actually liked Miklon. I almost forgot about him in Three Hopes, but then he dies. He had so much potential. I was liking him a lot. Like, he's a character I actually like, but then they didn't do a lot with him. It sucks, because they, like, I like how he was kind of getting development, and right when he did, he died. But I think it's one of those, like, it makes sense for a character like that, but still, it's like, you know. King Lambert, I'm gonna put in Who, only because they don't really have a character. Sylvain's dad? He's fine, I don't dislike him, but he's just kind of there. This guy, Who? Oh no, this guy, never mind, wait. This guy was kind of interesting in part 1, but then he dies too quickly. I actually liked him. He has such a weird voice. I thought he was going to be the main villain, and then nothing happened. Oh, Golden Deer. Okay, we're done with the Blue Lion, so that's my Blue Lion tier list. And to be honest, Blue Lions, I always felt this way. The males really shine in Blue Lions. The broskies, like Felix, Sylvain, Dodu, Dimitri, they all shine. Ash even. The girls I feel like are probably the worst of the cast. Like, I feel the other two, well, no, that's not true. I think they're better than Black Eagles. At first I used to think the Black Eagles were better, and never mind about that. I think Blue Lions are better. As far as the girls, I mean. Okay, Claude. My boy Claude. Now Claude, I'm gonna put in favorite. He's always been a favorite. I just like him as a concept. Like, I like that he's an Almiron, half Fodlan. I like that that's a twist. He's related to the Almiron world family. I like how he's kind of like the outsider of the three. I love his schemes, especially in Three Hopes. I like what they were doing with him in Three Hopes, so then it kind of didn't go anywhere. He's an Archer Lord, Wyvern Archer, very cool. Very cool character. Like, he had a lot of missed potential, especially in Three Houses, because it's like, he's like this schemer and he's mischievous and all that, but his schemes never really go anywhere. Like, he kind of just ends up as a basic Fire Emblem Lord. You would think he'll be the one that's different, but he kind of just follows like the good route. I like that he's the one that does the good route in Three Houses that kind of solves everything. But like, as far as his character, I feel like they didn't challenge him much. In Three Hopes, they did a lot of good things, but some of them, just the fact, I don't like that they went with the, I wish they went with him betraying Edelgard. I think that would have been cool. I do like that he teamed up with Dimitri, that was pretty cool. I do not like that he teamed up with Edelgard and didn't do the betrayal that should have happened like in the other one. He has one of my favorite classes of the Lords, the other two were eh. Yeah, I agree. Barbarossa's so freaking cool. Just a cool character, he's great. He's one of my favorite Fire Emblem Lords, just for being so unique. He's the meme. He's the meme lord of the series. He's just a cool character. I do like that the thing that he starts regretting after the thing with Randolph and Judith. I do think that part was fantastic in Three Hopes. I don't care what anyone says. I think that was really great. I like that they showed him actually questioning himself and actually like showing that he was flawed. I love that they gave flaws to Claude because he probably came off a bit Mary Sue-ish in Three Houses. I like how they made him make mistakes. It's just the fact he kept making too much mistakes afterwards and never grew from it because he just sides with the Empire anyway, which is the dumb part. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that they took that. Yeah, I like his whole thing that he's interested about the history and that's why it leads to Nemesis. I think that's so cool. Like all of that's really cool. I like that he's trying to uncover the secrets, but while also not being so totally against Raya in the same way Edelgard is. I like he tries to handle it more peacefully. Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence is a favorite. After 3, he was the most improved character. And that's the thing, he has some of the best development in Golden Deer. Like, he's amazing. But it, like, I kind of almost forget about it, because he's such an ugly character, I never like using him. But, like, this guy's so, he looks so cool in Three Hopes. I think this is my favorite design of him. I just for the armor alone, and the rose, he gives very like James vibes. He's a cool character. Like Lawrence is probably the best written character in Fodlan. Like, he's so good. His dad is also, I like his, like, he's a foil to Claude. Is foil the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but like, he challenges Claude in both games. Like, I love that about it. Like, he does what Felix does, but in Golden Deer. He's just such a good character. Like, he gets really involved in the politics of Three Houses. He's like, he's not super nobly like Ferdinand. He's like Ferdinand done better, in my opinion. He's just so good. I love this guy so much. I think he's my second favorite. I think Three Houses character. He's just such a good character. It's a shame so many people don't appreciate him just because of his design. Like, that's just the waifu emblem talking. Cause it's like, people do not like Lawrence, but it's like, do people not see the good writing he has? Like, it just because a character's ugly doesn't mean they can't be a good character. It's like, what the heck? You don't have to be a super, and I don't even think he's an ugly character. In Three Hopes, the graphics got better and his design got better. I think he looks cool. Actually, I genuinely think he looks cool. Like, as a Dark Knight, he looks so sick. Like, his design makes sense. It's like he's a pompous looking character, but then it actually works because he goes full on with it. So it's like, it looks cool. Like, he's a cool character. He's so sick, I don't get it. Like I may be a super like waifu emblem fan, but I could recognize when a character is very well written. Like, I could appreciate both aspects. Okay, Raphael. I actually liked his Three Hopes design the best. I like his bandana, it's cool. Oh, Raphael, okay. I want to put him here, but I don't think he's a good character. But I do like him more than these down here. So I'm gonna... Three Hopes, he will be here. I couldn't stand him in Three Hopes. And Three Houses, they did it just enough where he had just enough to be like interesting. And I just like him because he's a Golden Deer. Golden Deer, I have bias, they're my children, so... You like the meme class thing? Okay. I'm gonna change what I put here and put like. And then I'll put this as fine. So that way it doesn't sound like I'm saying good. You know what? I'll put good here. Yeah, I think that's perfect, because everyone in good, I feel like, is good. Like, good, great, same thing. I'll just put like. But I don't think they're a good character. They're just, I like them. That's the best way to describe it. Ignatz, my boy Ignatz. That's, this is hard. Ignatz fell off a bit because 3 hopes. I feel like, but I can't go by 3 hopes. It's weird because I like Ignatz as a meme and as a voice actor. And as like a unit. It's like hard to explain. Like, I love my green-haired archers, but like, do I think he's my favorite? Like, he is in my heart, but like, I feel like as a character, he's still not like super crazy. It's hard to say, because you guys know how much I love Chad Knox. He's like my boy. This is hard. He's just such a likable character. Like, he's like, I feel like he should be an amazing, because he does what Flame does. Like, he's just a very wholesome, likable character. He still has enough depth to him. Like, I can't even explain it. He doesn't even do anything crazy, but I love the guy so much. Like, I love this guy so freaking much. He's so good. I don't know why. Let Me Paint You a Picture is still the hardest crit quote I've ever heard in my life. Because how do you make a character who says, let me paint you a picture, sound so freaking epic? That's when you know he's a Chad. I feel like he needs his own tier. Because it's like, it's hard to explain. It's like, I just love Ignatz. You know what? He's a favorite. I'm sorry. I can't say why. Because it's like, realistically, he will probably be good or like around here. But as how I feel about them, it's like sometimes you don't need a reason. He's just, you know, he's at the bottom of favorites here, basically. Lysithea, okay, Lysithea. One of those that moved a lot all over the place. I think Lysithea is... Actually, it's funny because after playing 3 houses, well, I can't go by 3 hopes. Yeah, we're gonna go by 3 houses. I think she's an amazing character. She's bratty. She was my least favorite Golden Deer because of how much of a brat she is, but she has so much relevance in the lore and story. She's a very interesting character. I do think she's one of the most overrated characters of all time, though. Like, as a unit, no. I agree, she's amazing. People saying she's not amazing as a unit, they're lying. But as a... I do think they overrate Lysithea over other mages. Because I do think mages, overall, are broken in 3 houses. Because people are saying like, oh, Hubert, like the males don't stand a chance. I disagree. Hubert turned out so incredible for me in my Crimson Flower route. And did just as much work as Lysithea did. So I don't know why people say that. Lauren's placement is based. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, she's good. She's a very good character, but she has annoying moments. But those annoying moments kind of, in 3 hopes, kind of grew on me. Like, her brattiness was actually funny. Like, I felt like she came off like a little sister you want to like tease in a way. That's how she came off. Marianne, which design I like better? So I love both so much, but I'll just go with 3 hopes just for fun. Marianne was my favorite character in 3 houses before a certain other character came. She is Bernadetta done right. She is I love her lore, that she has the crest, like a forbidden crest. That's the beast one. It's like, it's so, like, she's like so sad about it. And like, it led to like a tragic way of her, like, for her life, because she has to like always be hiding it. And she doesn't want to get too close to people. She has one of the best developments, just like Lauren's. Like, Golden Deer really has a lot of development with all the characters, I noticed that. And she's the most. Like, she loses, like, when their design even shows that they grew, that's when you know it's good development. Like, she loses the shadows under her eyes, and then she builds confidence in her character. One of the most, without exaggeration, satisfying character arcs I've seen in Fire Emblem. Like, I was so happy for her by the end of Golden Deer when I first played the game. Very good character. I'm surprised I didn't S-support them when I first played the game. In fact, I still have not S-supported this character. I'm surprised. I regret S-supporting Leone. It should have been Marianne. Made no sense. She's even a blue-haired character. I love blue-haired characters. They're usually my favorite. Hilda. Okay, Hilda. That's another favorite. I'm gonna say the same thing I said in my video that I made. Hilda's one of those one-of-a-kind characters you will never see in Fire Emblem ever again. Like, the fact they chose a school game, a game that has a school setting, to do this type of character with this type of voice was perfect. And it's the only way it could have worked. And because of just having this type of character that has like the Valley Girl type of person, I thought that was so funny to me. It was the funniest thing ever. I remember I didn't even think I would like this character, and then she became an awesome unit and a great character when I played Three Houses. Like, she was hilarious to me. I love the fact, I love when gameplay, like, I love the whole thing that, like, her character, she's lazy, but yet in her gameplay she's like one of the best units. I think that's I love when games use that. They complement the gameplay with the character. I think that's so funny to me. It's so good. I think in Three Hopes she's improved a lot. I love how much like she supports Claude and how she's actually she's smarter than you think. Like, because she has to compete with people like Hubert and Dudu. And she actually lives up to that. Like, I like how it kind of has a balance. Like, she's kind of like Lawrence and her kind of both have to balance the... Because it's like she's not really like Dudu and Hubert, but so someone else has to kind of step in and share the role. And then Host, kind of, and Three Hopes especially. But I like how she still serves her role and she does it well. I like how she's different. She differentiates herself, and I think that's actually good. Now, I definitely want to bring this up because people, like with the Ingrid thing. I remember having a whole argument with Ruben about it. And giving like my full points on it. It's the controversy with Hilda and Cyril. Now, the reason I'm acknowledging is because people hate this support. Like, the people hate Hilda because of the support, right? However, it's very similar in the same way with Ingrid, except it's a little different. I would say, I read a comment, I hate that I can't find this comment, but they basically summed up Hilda's character in the most perfect way that I hate that I can't find the comment, but I'll try to put it in my best words as possible. Basically, she's... what's the word? It's gonna be so hard to describe this. Because he used a certain word that I can't for the life of me remember. But I'll try to explain it in the best way I could. She's ignorant. Let's just say that. That's the word I'm gonna use. She's ignorant. She feels the way she does about Almiron because of her upbringing. It's because of the fact her family, with what they, if I'm not mistaken, they always had to be guarding the border or whatever. So they always had to deal with Almirons. They always saw them as savages from their perspective, right? So coming from her and being how her family feels, and when you keep in mind how lazy of a character she is and how she's kind of spoon-fed everything, when someone's raised like that, they're pretty much just gonna believe anything that someone tells them, if that makes sense. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously that's not gonna justify it, of course not, for some people. I'm just saying that's the reason Hilda's the way she is, not for the reason people think. Because people just say like, oh, she's, you know, and like they just run with that. That's not it though. You have to pay attention, because it's like, it's literally in her character. Like, she's lazy. She doesn't, like, with the way her character's written, like what people say about her, it contradicts it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it contradicts it, because if that was the case, like, you do realize Claude is Almiron, right? And she's literally the biggest supporter of Claude. So, like, hello? Like, that doesn't even make sense. If she didn't like Almiron, she wouldn't be the biggest support. And she does get along with Cyril. It's not even that she doesn't get along. She makes one comment and the internet went crazy about it. When she's literally, I think I do know the word. Xeno, what's it called? It starts with Xeno or something, right? It means when somebody is ignorant to another, like, country, or like, and then they make assumptions about her, like, you know. But that's different. It's like ignorantly Xeno something. I forget the word that it's called. I think that's what that person said. Yeah. Xenoblade. But yeah, and again, don't even get me wrong, like, someone might, of course, I always have to say this, I'm gonna say this in every video that I discuss something about a video game that just happens to have, like, either a controversial thing or whatever you even want to call it. Like, I'm not defending Hilda's, like, ways of thinking or Ingrid. I want to make that 100% clear. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that people are misinterpreting the character. They're misinterpreting the character and the relationship with another character and taking it out of context, and also undermining the growth that they have with said thing, especially Ingrid. That's what I'm getting at, because sometimes the writing is trying to do something and people don't even appreciate what they're trying to do because they're just mad about a certain thing that they're doing, that they did in Tellius. Like, they did this in Tellius and everyone, like, thought it was great because they did it well, and I think they did do it well for the most part here too. Like, I don't know if it's because in Tellius it was with Lagoose, so I don't really know why people are more offended. It doesn't make sense to me. At the end of the day, it's still characters feeling a certain way about another character. So I don't, it's weird, I don't know. All I know is that Hilda is clear of that for the most part. It's about the slaves, and I will agree on that. I didn't know about that until you guys told me. But again, that's where I will put, you see, everything else I covered except that, right? That in particular, being it never even gets brought up ever again, which is also what I was gonna bring up, that they never even bring this up. It's only in the serial support. It's the same way that I would say, like, you know how I don't judge certain characters, like, who was I talking about before that? I said, like, oh, since they don't bring it up, since they don't, the writing of the game is really at fault, not the character. This is where I would also say that too, because that's more so of the writing of the game never going into that and doing anything with it, and they could have done something with it. So in my opinion, that's more of a missed potential that they didn't do with Hilda's character. They just never go into it. Like, you could kind of make assumptions about it just based on her character overall, and for me personally, I would feel she's not that, because it's the fact, like, when you take into consideration everything, that she's literally in the route that's freeing everybody and stopping racism. Like, that's literally Claude's goal, and she follows him. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, if she's in the route that represents that, like, even though, like, they never go into that, you could kind of put 2 and 2 together of how she is as a character. Like, that's more so of the game's writing, and the game's fault for not going into that in the same way that it doesn't go into other things, other parts. But I could see why people would say that, because it's unresolved. But I think you could put 2 and 2 together, and, you know, and I'm not even saying this because I like Hilda, because I defended Ingrid as well, and Ingrid's not even a character I like that much. Like, I like Ingrid, but not, like, she's not one of my favorites. I genuinely think people misinterpret these characters. I just wanted to discuss it so people know why I'm putting them high, and be like, how can you put them this high when this and that? I want to acknowledge it so people know why I'm putting them high, and if I'm aware of those certain things and how I feel about it. And I genuinely think they're misinterpreted and misunderstood, just like in the same way Lawrence is misunderstood. It's why people didn't even like him in the first place. In Three Houses, what I like about Golden Deer, maybe it's even a trend, I'm not gonna say that's what it is, but there's a theme of characters being misinterpreted and misunderstood. In Lauren's case, the cast reacts to Lawrence the same way the player reacts. You have Lawrence, who's like this pompous noble, but people see him as arrogant, or like someone who thinks he's better, like Leone will hate that and stuff, right? But then it's revealed that he actually just feels like he wants to serve the common folk, if anything. He just wants to be the greatest definition of a noble, if that makes sense. You get what I'm trying to say? So I feel like in the same way, you could take that with Hilda, you could take that with Claude. Marianne even gets misinterpreted by Leone at one point. Who else? Lysithea? Wait, Lysithea? Let me think. Maybe not Lysithea, but you get where I'm getting at. But that's my overall thoughts on that. I just wanted to bring it up because I feel like it's something that should be talked about when discussed, because it's like, it's something that when something's written a certain way, it gets me sad when a whole group of people just say something and people just hear it and they just agree without actually doing their research on it. So I wanted to clear this up in the best way I could, based on the research I did myself, and just overall my analysis on the character. I think Hilda is a sweet character, and Three Hopes especially. I feel like she was improved. I feel like she's a very, like, lovable character. She doesn't really, like, you don't see her doing all this, like, bad stuff, or, like, she's just Hilda. She's the way she is, but this is even explained in Three Houses. She's lazy, but her way of feeling, I guess, she accepting of herself and her character is by rewarding people with kindness. She expresses this in Three Houses. And I thought that was very fascinating, because I never seen a character like that. That they basically accept their flaws, but they go out of their way to not let it bring other people down. She uses it to support, so she's like the ultimate support, and I think that's very cool. So I think Hilda actually has more interesting things to her than a lot of people don't give her credit for. People that love Hilda just love her because of obvious reasons. For me, it's both. Anyway, moving on. This is why I say I'm the one guy in the Fire Emblem community that loves both equally. I love Waifu Emblem and I love like old Fire Emblem, like back when it was just all political and like writing. I love both. That's why I could love both Hilda and Lawrence. Anyway, Leonie actually was the first person I supported, but she fell off so hard. She has one of my favorite designs of all time, but and as a unit she's amazing, but I don't think I don't know. I mean, Three Hopes, they made her worse, so I can't go by that, but after looking back at Three Houses, it's like her supports don't stack up. Like, she's kind of just normal. She's like in a net, but not as good, because she has the trope with Gerald, which is exaggerated a bit. Like in Three Houses, people exaggerate. She's not just all Gerald. And Three Hopes maybe, but we're not talking about Three Hopes. Yeah, the game makes them very one-note, so people write them off of lazy bratty without bothering to look deeper at the subtle development. Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah, Leonie, it's like I like Leonie, but I don't think she's that good. I can't believe I'm putting her below Annette and Mercedes and Ingrid. This is actually happening. Like, I don't know. I just don't think Leonie's that good anymore. I used to love Leonie, and I still do. I just don't like her as much as everyone else character-wise. She's just alright. Judith is amazing. Like, Three Hopes made me like Judith so much, and I hate that they didn't do more. I wanted her playable. I wanted her to, like... Ugh, so frustrating. I like how she's like the big sister mother to Claude. She's like the only one that could like talk down to Claude and make him feel dumb. And Lawrence. She's so cool. So cool. They didn't do a lot with her, but she's such a cool character. Very cool design. She looks like Claude's mom. I can't believe she's not Claude's mom or aunt. Nadir? Rest in peace to Nadir's voice actor. Very good job in Three Houses. I like Nadir. Do I think he's a good character? They don't do a lot with him. He's very cool. He has a thing with Shahid and Three Hopes. But it's like he had this whole plan with Claude the whole time. I like how they're like cool with each other. He's like the crazy uncle of Claude that knew him since he was young. He's an Almiron general. He's cool. I don't know. Leonie is like someone I like as a unit but can say much as a character. I agree. That's exactly how it is. And the only reason I used to like, because in my first route, you know, having all the, you know, when you have all the, like, what's the word? Like, seeing all the voice acting in your first playthrough and seeing like all your first supports. Leonie was one of the people I saw like my first support, and it was just like, wow, console Fire Emblem, they're actually talking and like having conversations, and like this is so cool. But then that kind of thing wears off after playing the game a lot, and you realize, oh, Leonie wasn't actually as good as I thought. But that's when every support seemed really good, just the fact there was voice acting. But if we're going by comparing to everyone else, yeah, Leonie's not anything too special. I still like Leonie. She's still, in my heart, she's S tier. Acheron. Acheron's a funny character. I almost can't put him in Who, because he's at least memorable for being, like, he's fine. He's funny, he's that unit that comes out, kind of like, this guy. I forget his name. Acheron's funny. The fact I remember his name just says a lot. Only has 3 units that can join. Judith would have been welcomed. He's Claude's cool uncle. He's the man who will torment you with remorse. Forcements on Crimson Flower. That was scary. Make a tier above S. Make Acheron Naring tier. Do it just for you, Shaky. There we go. You see? He rose above Lawrence. Who would have thought? His dream of becoming better than Lawrence. He did it. Good job, Acheron. I hope I don't get a sore throat. My throat's killing me. From talking so much. Count Gloucester. I need Shaky's opinion on this. Do you think Count Gloucester's amazing enough to put in favorite? Because I know me and Shaky share the same opinion on Count Gloucester. I mean, they don't still do too much with him, but out of all the adults, him and Judith are like easily the best. So I think I'll put him in amazing. He's a great character. I freaking love Gloucester. Yeah, he's so cool. He's S, really? You put him in S? Ah, it's hard. Cause it's like, I in my heart I agree, but it's like I'm not gonna be going on the, like, this is how I think of it. If someone asks me who my favorite Fodlan characters are, I'm not gonna say Count Gloucester. I wouldn't just say him out of everybody. I'm gonna say Lawrence. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm going by people I would say. Like, if someone asks me, I'm gonna say Lawrence, Hilda, Marianne, Claude, Felix, Shamir, Ignatz. I won't say Gatekeeper, but it's... we all love Gatekeeper. In fact, I'll just put Gatekeeper in Naring tier 2. Because they're just characters you love for different reasons. You'll totally say Gloucester? Really? That, I mean, yeah, that's understandable. I'm saying my reason. Like, I don't think I would mention him. Like, I'll probably forget about him. But if someone reminded me, I'll be like, oh yeah, he was a great character. I'll put him in amazing, because I see him the same way I see Judith. I don't think I see him like a whole tier higher than Judith. He's like... he's the same. That's like, he definitely did more than Judith. Or about, I don't know, it's hard to remember. I mean, he was even involved in the other routes, so I guess that does say something too. So that's why he's above Judith, but I don't think it's like enough for me. He's still an amazing character. I really wish he was playable. Yeah, he was a great... he's a character I think Ruben would have loved. He just strikes me as a character Ruben will love. Who? Shahid? Shahid was fine. I can't believe this is Claude's brother. Like, I almost can't believe that. And he... you know what he reminds me of? His arc reminded me, you know how you have the King Gangrel arc from Awakening? And then it's like, he's even dressed similarly, and then it's like, after that, there's like a new villain after that. That's what he reminds me of. He gives me Awakening vibes. Like, he's that first really evil, kind of fascinating character, but they kind of just die, and then they never, like, come back. He gives me that same vibe. He's like King Gangrel to me. His assistance with the pincer attack scheme was great, that I agree. His combo with Lawrence is amazing. Yup, when he gives him the that's how you get the Thyrsus. That was so cool how they did that. That was one of the most hype item gets, like, ever. Like that was very cool. He serves as the main contrast to the Round Table, who may have caused problems, but not without reason. Yeah, I pretty much agree with all of that. Yeah, the Almiron arc was very disappointing. I was so excited for that too, and then it just ends. I was so excited for an Almiron arc involving Claude's actual family. I agree, 100%. 100% agree with you. For the most part, me and Shaky are like on the same page when it comes to like how we felt about Three Hopes. Like I agree. Like it's just like I feel like there was, again, they did this and it was great. They didn't go anywhere with it though. They had everything set up, that's what I'm saying, but they didn't do anything with it. Because they wanted it to be about Arvo and Shez and Byleth. And then, whoops, just kidding, it's not even about Byleth. So what was even the freaking point? When it's more about the new characters than even the old ones. That's what annoys the heck out of me. Because it's like, okay, you're hyping up Byleth, right? And it's like, okay, you're gonna sacrifice all the story to give Byleth more stuff. Okay, I might forgive that. But then it's not even about Byleth. It's about the new characters that were supposed to deal with Byleth, but doesn't even add anything to Byleth in the first place, and then you just use it to be about them. And it's just like, what? Like, now they're just Rowan and Liana from Fire Emblem Warriors. They're new characters that are just there to be part of the Warriors pro tag cast, and they're more emphasized, and it's like, why? No. Like, what was the point of this? Shahid from American Idol. Oh my god, that's such a like obscure reference, and I know exactly who you're talking about as I watched American Idol growing up. Gangrel came back. What? No, he didn't. Wait, what? Did Gangrel come back? I don't remember him coming back. I thought after you defeat him, you never see him again. I know you could get him like as a playable like post game, like, but that doesn't count. That's like, that's not related to the story, right? Oh, Host. I'm excited about this one. Host is hard to rank. I really liked Host, like he's voiced by Pro CD. He's amazing. I liked Host. I liked how he was like he is kind of like, he's not tropey, but like he is kind of like, he's kind of one note, but he's like a very likable one note. He's like at the very end of amazing to me. This guy was the #1 character I was hyped for, because they hyped up him in Golden Deer so much. Hilda's big brother. I love Hilda. I was like, I'm gonna love Host. He's gonna be an absolute, like, tank. I don't know why he's not an axe user. He looks more like an axe user. The strongest man in Leicester. Super cool. He's funny. He became so much funnier and lighthearted than I expected. I like how he was like the third. I like how Claude had like a whole group of people. Like he had Host, Hilda, and Lawrence, and Judith, like all like kind of serving as his aides. Not just like, you know, Dudu and Felix and Blue Lions. Like, I like how he like, I love the butt chin. I love that he has, I love the whole mushroom thing. The mushroom meme that he's like always eating mushrooms or whatever. I love the fact that he like hypes up Hilda and always looks out for him. He's like a doting older brother. I think that's so cute. That's like so funny to me. I like his relationship with Ballfist. That's so cool to me. I love the bromance between them. Let me see. So funny that the devs admitted that they crippled the plots to prevent Japanese fans from hating Hopes. Also seem worse. Non-canon, they always made Byleth reload thing. What? They said that? Who's the blonde guy next to Raya? What? Who's the blonde guy next to Raya? That's Dimitri. Well, if you try to please everyone, you anger a lot of the majority anyways, Luslo. I love that crest. He's crestless though. Yeah, it's like Hilda got the crest. That's what I figured out in Three Hopes. The whole thing of Hilda being important. Because she is always the crest holder. It's like she got the crest, but he's the strongest. But then she actually is strong too. And they finally, what I like is that the whole thing of her being lazy but really strong, I like how subtle that was. In Three Houses, you kind of just figure that out through the gameplay. In Three Hopes, I like how they actually mentioned it. But I like how they, like, it took that long for them to actually mention it. Like, oh, you actually are competent on the battlefield. And, like, they actually, like, emphasize it a lot. Like, you know, everyone's rooting for her and saying, like, Hilda, you're so amazing. You're so strong. That was so funny to me. When it's like the group of Lester people were like saying how much they respect her on the battlefield. I thought that was funny. Oh, and also another thing about Hilda I like, she took on Dimitri head on and weapon advantage. If that wasn't the funniest weapon advantage like moment ever. I love that scene so much. That was one of the coolest female Fire Emblem moments, in my opinion. And it came from Three Hopes, surprisingly. Anyway, who are we talking about? Oh, Host. Yeah, he's Oh, I just noticed I put Lawrence and his dad, Hilda and her brother. Like they're literally next to each other. I think that's kind of funny. You know what? You go here. And you go next to... There you go. Wait, no, go. There we go. Who's next? Oh, Black Eagles. Okay, I'm actually interested to go into this. Wait, what? Wait, there's people missing. Where's the Ashen Wolves? Where's the Ashen Wolves? Don't tell me I did this whole tier list for nothing. Well, it'll be easy to put everybody where they were at, but like... Okay, it didn't load. Okay, perfect. Okay, Black Eagles. Here we go. They're in our hearts. Okay. Edelgard. It's funny because I actually like Emperor Edelgard from Three Houses design. Edelgard... She actually used to be my favorite of the three, but after playing Crimson Flower and seeing why everyone hated her, I could see why she was disliked. But I'm gonna go by how I felt about Edelgard in my first playthrough. When it got revealed she was the main villain. A Lord in Fire Emblem being the main villain was crazy to me. The concept, amazing. Empathetic, I would say she's still empathetic. What she went through, her goals are still noble. They don't shine all the way. I would say in Three Hopes they shine slightly more, because I feel like they actually acknowledge it and like really show you what she's trying to do, while in Three Houses I feel like they kind of did, but it felt like it was too, since she was the antagonist, it really didn't like settle like the fact of what she's trying to do. I felt Three Hopes they did it slightly better. I do think she's still a flawed character, not in the good way. Like, I mean flawed as in like her writing is a little, but I do think Edelgard as a character is a great character. Like, she stirs up so much crap in this game and in the fan base. Like, the fact that they're so memorable in the first place, that's always gonna win out in the end for me. Because it's like, I mean, look at King Garen. A lot of, like, I'll give an example for, like, my friend Ruben. My friend Ruben adores King Garen. He's a terrible character. Horrible. horribly written, but he's so memorable because of how bad he is that I can't help but agree but say he's one of like the best villains because he's so memorable because of just how evil and dumb he is. Edelgard, I would say she's at least well written, but in a similar case, it's like she has such an impact on this freaking game, which is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games, that it's like I'm never gonna forget this character. I like her relationship with Dimitri. I think it's fantastic, their dynamic. Like, there's good moments with Edelgard. Like, even if you, like, remove all the bad she has and look at the good, it's enough where I could feel confident putting her here, if that makes sense. Like, she's still a good character. It's just, it's more of the writing of the... Again, sometimes I would blame the game again, to be honest. Not the crest. I'm gonna blame... the crests are to blame. No, the game is to blame. Like, I feel like... Because she's... What's funny is that when I first met her, I was gonna pick Black Eagles. Because she was voiced by Christina V. Then she got a voice change before the game came out. And I was this close to actually picking Black Eagles. And then when I saw her personality, I'm like, what the heck? Ew. She's like... She's teacher's pet. Like... personality. I'm like, I don't want this as my main lord. So I went to Claude at the last minute, and that was the greatest choice I ever made, because I would have ended up getting... I'm wondering what my reaction to Crimson Flower would have been. Like, I wonder what I would have even done. Would I side with her or Raya? Like, I'm wondering what I would have done, genuinely. I would have been so confused. So I'm actually glad I did Golden Deer and found out about Edelgard first through there, so then, you know. But she grew on me by the end of the Golden Deer and Blue Lion arcs. Like, I loved how her interpretation in those two arcs a lot. Like, as the antagonist, I loved her as an antagonist. Playing as her, not as much. I think that's what ruined it for me. Because as an antagonist, it's like they're supposed to be flawed. So in a way, it's like even if like there might be writing issues, it's at least like they're the antagonist. They're always going to be wrong at the end of the day, if that makes sense. What makes it worse is when you're playing a route that they're supposed to be the protagonist and they're doing antagonistic things that a villain would do. That's what ruins her for me. So I would say we're going by not her route, which I'm just gonna pretend that's not, you know, I'm still gonna acknowledge it and let it bump her down a tier. But if we're not acknowledging all that, I will put her here. It's hard for me to be positive about Adol, and I remember how my earliest comments in the community constantly got derailed to Adol debates. Really frustrating, you can't escape it, I see. So it's like a personal thing that made you even dislike her more, I see. And then it's just fun to hate on Edelgard. That's one where I could agree on you, that it's just kind of fun to bully Edelgard's character. Huberino, our boy. Hubert, my boy. Now, Hubert was one of those characters that I never thought was gonna experience, because I never was gonna play his route. He's a locked character. He's only in the Crimson Flower route. I never was gonna play the Crimson Flower route, because I'm like evil route. I don't do evil routes. But from the little I got from Golden Deer, I love the letter. Do you guys know the letter scene in Golden Deer? That, can you believe that made me put him in this tier? Like, that's how much of an impact he made on me. Even so, let that sink in. Like, this was before I knew Hubert, and I already thought he was great. So that says a lot about how good Hubert is. That just from that letter, I thought he was a great character. After playing Crimson Flower and Three Hopes, This is very hard for me. Cause it's like part of me feels like he's the best Black Eagles easily. Far and beyond. My issue with Hubert is that he has negatives for me. And that might shock people and trigger someone in chat. It's like I love everything about Hubert, but there are some things that bother me about Hubert that might be enough to drag him down one tier. Because at the end of the day, it has to be likability too. When I look at my favorites, they're all likable. I don't find like none of them annoy me in any way. Hubert has annoyed me sometimes. Is that enough to put him down a tier? I love how loyal, his loyalty to Edelgard is probably the best out of all the loyal characters. Like he's, well, no, I would say the Duke competes with that. It's about the same. His loyalty to Edelgard is it's very good. Is it him retreating 5 times in House? No, that's fine. That stuff doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it's his personality, I think, that brings him down a tier. At the end of the day, he gives off a villainous vibe, an antagonistic vibe, because he aids literally the villain of the game. So because of that, his personality is gonna have those certain flaws that are gonna make him slightly unlikable for someone like me personally. Not for everyone, for me. Because it's like when I look for a character, I want to like them. And I know that's not to say I can't have a villain in favorites, but it does mean they're more likely to have negative traits I don't like. And I do understand the same way like Lawrence, they're misunderstood, but I do think there are times where he's not misunderstood and he's genuinely just a jerk, or like, you know, I mean, I always complained about how he treated... Who's gonna forget my reaction to me ranking all of their all their reactions to their condolences to Byleth's father passing away. And I was so upset by Hubert's reaction to Byleth's to Gerald's death and how he consoled Byleth, that I was like, what the heck? Why this guy's so, like, how can you say that? Like, what? It was so incredibly rude. That was a huge, like, that might be enough for me to bring him down a tier. That part made him based. He's the comically evil villain. I love with some elements of genuine cool moments. I'll give you that. When you put it that way, I mean, wait a minute, because you're kind of onto something. With the fact Black Eagles is the comedic route with all the characters, I never thought of Hubert being comedic, because I thought he was the only serious one, but I didn't realize that he's also, in a way, comedic. From being just so comically evil almost, but even though he's not, because realistically he's not evil. He has his little moments, but like... this is hard. Hubert's hard to rank. Because on a good day, I'll put him here, but... I'm surprised you guys didn't just convince me with the happy support. You guys should have just told me about the happy support. That's it. That's all I needed. All you guys needed to tell me is that he becomes friends with Happy, and they go fight monsters together. That alone is enough to put him in favorites. What's this tier list about? Hi Cheesy. It's ranking 3 Houses characters, like based on everything. Like my favorite, like how they are as a character, how they are as a. Like, not as a unit, as a character. But yeah. He didn't disrespect Happy, so I respect that. And he became friends. So I find that funny. If he bullied Happy, he would have definitely been 1 tier down. But he didn't, so I'm fine. Ferdinand von Ager. I am Ferdinand von Ayer, my boy. I still don't get why Linhardt has 3 different faces. Why is he the only one? Can someone tell me why Linhardt got redrawn? Is it because they thought he looked too old? Like, why is he the only one that his mid-skip has a different face? And everyone else has the, like, their time skip looks exactly the same as their mid-skip face. Or, like, they slightly different. I know Felix is, like, slightly different, and Ferdinand, his chin actually looks slightly longer. But, like, other than that, they're, like, such a minor... It looks like an edit you would do, like, on GIMP or something. Something I could even do. He looked too old. That, you're right, it probably does. They probably felt that it didn't make sense, being he's such a, like, baby face. It doesn't, yeah. It's mid-skip. His hair's just shorter and put... No! No, but he looks different. Like, if you look at these two, he looks completely different. Like, look at his mid-skip and look at his time skip. It's 2 different... The faces are drawn differently. Like, and if you look at everyone else, they're exactly the same. This is the only one that they changed. Like, like if you look at his pre-time skip, it almost looks like he looks more like his pre-time skip with smaller eyes. And they're, like, closer together. It's like a different person. Anyway, Ferdinand. I think this is my favorite design. Ferdinand? I feel really bad about this. Just because the actor I love so much. But it's, again, it's the writing's fault. He did the most with this character. He has the most iconic meme. He wrote this character to the end, like, to be, like, one of the greatest, like, just voice acting performances and, like, meme potential, whatever you want to call it. As a character, Ferdinand, he's good. I don't think he's amazing. He has potential in 3 Hopes They Never Did, and then in 3 Houses, I just kind of liked him a lot. His death in 3 Houses was the one to actually get to me the most, so there's that. I like that he's, like, wants to be the true definition of a noble, like Lawrence. But he goes, like, full on with it. He's more tropey with it, but in a good way. He's a good tropey. Like, they take his trope, but it's, like, funny. I like how he's a foil to Edelgard in the same way that, like, Lawrence is to Claude. For lack of a better word, I don't know if foil's the right word. I think you use that more when it's, like, a villain to a protagonist. He was the best during the time skip in 3 Houses. It's like, I don't remember, that's the thing. Cause I'm trying to even remember Crimson Flower, and why can't I even remember that? Like, did he have shining moments that I'm forgetting about? I don't remember. Don't feel guilty about how you rank character. No, I know. It's just because the voice actor that it is, that's the only reason. Cause I you know. I mean, I love Billy Comet's Maruki from Persona 5. That's like one of my favorite characters. So at the end of the day, it's the character. It's not, has nothing to do with the voice actor. It's just, but I think safely I'll put him here. He's just a good character. Not anything too crazy, but I don't think he's down here like I used to put him. He's definitely like a good character. I'm trying to think if there's like any standout supports, but his partners in Black Eagles are so like not a lot of interesting characters for him to bounce. I think that's more of the case. He doesn't have a lot of good characters to bounce off of, so that's why he can't shine. And then Hubert has just, he kind of runs the show, so that's why he's so good. Well, Ferdinand has to worry about bouncing off. Oh, Dorothea, there we go. That's a good, I knew I was forgetting about someone. He has really good Dorothea supports in both. They're a very good ship. That's probably my favorite aspect of him, is their relationship. It's so good. And he's also misinterpreted by her. In the same way Lawrence is. Caspar. Oh, no. Linhardt. Let's go with this one. Linhardt, I'm gonna put in good. I think Linhardt's actually a good character. And I remember the DLC is really where I got to like him. The side story, Ashen Wolf side story. He's playable there, and I liked him a lot there. He's funny. He doesn't do anything bad. Like, I usually put people here if they have like negative things to them, but he's actually a good character. Like, I wouldn't blame someone if he's like in an amazing tier, because he's actually a great character. Like, I like him and Hanuman share the thing that they're both interested in Crest. So all his supports were interesting. None of them were boring to me. His sleep trope doesn't really do anything for me. It's not a bad one, but it's not a good one either. It's kind of just there. It's like whatever. It's not really funny to me. It's just like no comment. But like, he's a good character. I don't feel he's bad. Like, Linhardt doesn't do anything bad. I feel like all his supports were interesting to me. Enough where it's like, you know. But I actually could see someone putting him in amazing, but it's just, he is still kind of blah as a design, so it's like, he's not someone, he's the one in the cast that has like probably for a lot of people, the least favorite design. And it's just because he's kind of boring. But his character isn't that boring. It's actually pretty interesting, so I'll put him there. His bromance with Caspar is pretty cool too. I like how Caspar has a scar that we never knew about because his hair was up in Three Hopes, but it wasn't in Three Houses. And because he's flipped to the other side. So that's kind of funny. Well, maybe. I think they could be flipped on... No, he is flipped. He's one of the few units. I just noticed some units look different directions. Yeah, he looks in that direction, so we never see it. It's funny how much the Three Hopes designs grew on me that I'm picking most of them. But I'll go with Three Houses, because I remember when I first saw this design, it was enough to make me want to recruit him. I'm gonna put Caspar in like... I actually think Caspar's not that bad. Like, he used to be at the bottom, similar to, Manuela, Ciro, or no, not, Linhardt and who else? Mercedes, like, he used to be near the bottom. And Annette and all that, they used to all be, like, kind of near the bottom for me. Ash, there we go, that's who I was trying to find. Ash and Mercedes and him used to all share that, and with another person we'll be getting to soon. But actually, after playing Three Hopes, I didn't, like... He doesn't annoy me. I feel like he's fine. Like, he's like Raphael. I put him, like, he's like the Black Eagles Raphael, except not as bad. Especially in Three Hopes. I feel like Raphael was so one-note. He's kind of one-note, but his Hubert support was actually pretty good. His Dorothea support was kind of cute. Linhardt, I like their dynamic. Him and Shez, I actually enjoyed their dynamic. They like kind of bounced off each other pretty good. Him and Mercedes, like the whole thing that they have a paralogue in Three Houses with Yuritsa, that was really interesting. How they made him... Oh, Petra, there we go. I knew I was forgetting something. His Petra support is phenomenal. In both games. But in Three Hopes, I think... The only reason I'm saying that one is because I didn't really watch the supports too much in Three Houses, so I remember the Three Hopes one more. I don't know if it was just as good, but I know it was the same, but holy cow, his support with Petra is so good. Like, I love how they have that's even a thing between them, like that she hates his dad and that he's he kind of just lets her, like, oh, finish me off or whatever. Like, he respects that she feels that way. He tries to stop her. Like, that whole storyline is just interesting to me. Like, I like that they did that with him. I really wish they did more with him and the dad. I wish the dad died and they went into that, and then Petra. Like, that's how they could have made the Black Eagles more relevant. I also feel like for Randolph being the one who dies, they really don't emphasize Caspar and his uncle at all. And that's like the only relation that's important to us, and they don't even emphasize that at all. So that was a missed opportunity, but it's weird. I think that's why his hair's like that, so it was to cover it. So maybe they always had it there, and they knew all along, and they just didn't show us. Bernadette, oh god. I think just go with this one, because I do kind of like this one. This is gonna be our first, like, I don't like Bernadette. Like, it's funny because I remember I wanted her in my original run. Like, I was like the same as all, like, the general amount of people. Like, oh, she's so cute, I want to use her. And then it's like, no, she's alright. She used to be in great for me, and then she fell off more and more and more and more, and I just realized how annoying she was. I love Erica Mendez, but oh my god, she's obnoxious with this voice acting. Like, this character. It's not her fault, but I don't know why the director told her to, like, be so loud. Like, even when she talks normal, it feels like she can't calm down. And I guess that's because she has so much anxiety, so it wants to show that, but it doesn't make it likable. Her support's with Yuri. Now, here's the thing. Don't think I don't know about that. Her support with Yuri was my favorite support. I do think that, so when I saw that support, it made me actually like her so much. Just the fact that there was even a character that had like a past to her. I thought that was amazing. And the Death Knight. I love her. I ship her with the Death Knight. Like, if we're talking about those two supports and her Edelgard support in Three Hopes, she actually could be like that. Those three supports alone could bring her up, because she actually has a handful of really good supports, but mostly because of the other character and how she bounced off of them. Happy was also very good support. But the way I think of it is that when I think of Bernadetta, do those supports come to mind? No. What comes to mind is how much she annoyed me. So that's when I know that this is where I'm putting her. Doesn't mean she's a bad character, she's just an annoying character. So I'm not gonna say she's bad. If we're going by her character, she's here. But if we're going by how I feel about her, she's not here. Dorothea. I love Dorothea. I think I'm gonna put Dorothea. She actually used to be up here, then she fell down, and then she went up, went down, went up. It's because there's so, in the same way with Hubert, she has this thing. I'm gonna put her here. Nah, I'll put her in good. She's like at the top of good. She's like Ferdinand. Like, her flirty nature, I always said this, is very annoying. It's not done well. That's not attractive to me. I don't like when a character acts like that, but I don't get it, because her personality is weird, because sometimes she will act like that, but then sometimes she just doesn't act like that at all. Like, she'll be Manuela 2.0, but then she'll also be like, oh, like, I'm a commoner, I don't like nobles. That side of her I like better. With her whole tragic upbringing, I love how she cares so much about, she's that character the most that talks about when someone else dies. Like the friend, like she's very down to earth, and like she remembers everyone from the monastery, so she feels something when they die, and she feels like everyone around her is just like okay with it, and she's like upset. I love that. She's real. I love her singing. It's so funny to me. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but when she sings, it's so funny. Like, when I see a voice actor and then they get to shine and like sing and they have to actually dub that, I always find that hilarious, because it's a completely different interpretation. So they have to like take, so that's why when Raya starts singing, it's very impressive to see Jeremy Lee have to sing and like try to live up to the Japanese singing. And she did a good job. Dorothea, like, even though it's comedic, it's funny. It's hilarious to me. I love it. I love how in Three Hopes she sang the main theme, breaking the fourth wall. I thought that was funny. She's overrated. I think I could agree on that. she's overrated, but it's hard. It's so hard because it's like she does have one of the best designs. It's such a pretty character that I don't blame people for overrating her. But for me, she has some annoying things about her. But I do think she's a good character. Like, she's definitely I could easily say she's a good character. It's just that she has enough flaws where it's like, and then she doesn't do anything too amazing. But I think she's a tragic character. She's like the Ingrid, I would say. That might sound weird. They even both have green eyes, now I think about it. Like, Ingrid and the fact, like, they both have, like, a tragic, they're very down-to-earth, tragic characters, and, like, they kind of have, beef with other people, or, like, you know, because she has beef with Ferdinand, she has beef with Dudu, like, that's how I'm comparing them. So I think I'll put her there. She simps a bit for a lot of characters and it gets annoying. And this is why I ship her and Ferdinand. You know why? Because it's the only ship she's not flirty with. It's one that she actually, it feels like it's the canon one, because it's like, it's literally the only person that sweeps her off her feet, but in a different way, which I think is why it felt more natural and I liked it more. Especially in Three Hopes when they're yelling at each other, getting all blushy. I'm like, these guys are meant to be with each other. And then her supports with Ferdinand with the whole bee thing and whatever. Like, they're a good ship. I think that's how they should have handled Dorothea. I also don't like the fact she's flirty with Byleth, her teacher. That I think that's why it annoyed me so much. Because it's like, that's your teacher. Can you stop? Like, doesn't matter if you're around the same age. Like, can you stop that? Like, it was cringe. Petra. This is hard. Because Petra's a character that I imagine them having so much good stuff to them, but they don't do anything with her. They just rely on her tropes so much, but I want to love this character so much. That's such a cool design. One of my favorite units. Her and Leonie are the characters I use the most. Leonie, Petra, and Lysithea are the units I use the most, because they're just the funnest ones to use, in my opinion. Great design. Really funny concept, but then they don't, like... And then with her and Caspar, that's what shows she had potential, because it shows she could get angry and get, like, she could give the vibe like she's one that's just very Starfire. Haha, don't get angry, really. Well, Starfire gets angry, but you know what I mean. She seems very, like, oblivious. Usually characters like that don't get angry or show other sides of them, because they're just trying to figure out how to talk. So they don't even... I notice characters like that don't really show sides of their personality. But it's like... I really wanted her to be the same way how Claude, Hilda, Lorenz, and Horst were to Claude. I wish that's how Petra was to Edelgard. I wish she was like a bodyguard to it. Like, screw Monica and just have Petra be what Monica was supposed to be. Like, you know how many cool scenes we could have got of her, like, protecting Edelgard? Like, I imagine it in my head, like an anime. I don't know why in my mind, I imagine, like, a scene of Petra being, like, this really cool assassin character that protects Edelgard and comes out of the shadows and, like, protects her emperor. And she's, like, you know, she's from Bridget, she comes from, like, an interesting land, and she's, like, their dynamic is so cool, but they don't do anything with it. But when I imagine it, it sounds so cool. But they didn't do it. It didn't make me feel that. That's just my imagination. That's my fanfic version of Petra, but that never happens. So I have to put her in good. She's good. To be honest, it's like, I don't even... Well, her Caspar support's really good. And yeah, she's alright. It's like, I like her enough to put her here, but it might just be my bias because it's just how likable she seems to be, but she's not that good. And then she should have, her English should have gone better. Like, Marianne showed that she improved. Why didn't she learn for, like, her like, why didn't she improve in her Fodlan language? I wish the time skip changed how she talked completely. It would have been amazing. Oh, so much missed potential. She also has the Ariana Grande here, I just noticed. Monica, uh-oh. Petra's a bit too perfect, like she's not naive, reckless. Yeah, she can't speak correctly, but it's treated as cute. Yeah, I agree. It's, I don't know. Let me, raise my light. Also, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Like, I love how we did this. This was so much fun, and I'm loving all the interaction in chat and all your thoughts. It's very fun. So thank you guys so much for the support. Monica, easy, eh. Monica, I couldn't stand. I probably could. It's hard to know whether I don't like Bernadetta or Monica more. They actually look similar now. Right? Don't they look kind of similar now that they're next to each other? Like, if you dye their hair, like, they're literally, like, you dye their hair as each other, they kind of could look like each other. She got mad at one time at Casper. Yeah, that's my fair support with Petra. You kill Monica's dad? Do you? I didn't even realize that. Or maybe I just forgot because I don't care. You see, Sylvain's dad looks more like the brother than Sylvain. But aren't they half? No, they both have to be from the dad, because it's like, they have red hair and stuff. And then he still looks like Sylvain's brother as the hair. The dad looks more like him than... Sylvain's mom must have had strong genes, because he doesn't look like his dad as much as he does. Miklon does. Anyway, Monica, she had the worst obsession trope. Like, Catherine and Cyril I thought were bad. This is exactly how I'll rank it, like, just like this. Cyril was the best. Catherine, like, used to be the worst. Monica was unbearable. I get, like, she's so in love with the character, so that's, you could just take it like that. It didn't make it any less annoying. She was a Fates character. She was just obsessed with Edelgard. She's like Darja to Robin, except worse and not edgy and, you know, yandere. But she even had a yandere moment once, but I don't know. This character was like, she has such a cool design, but on top of having a voice actor I'm not even crazy about. I don't like Tails' voice actor. That's just me. I don't like, it's not for me. Like, it's not that she voices bad. She does perfectly fine. It's just I don't like the voice. The same way I don't like Bernadetta's voice actor. Like, I like the voice sometimes, but like, it's not pleasant to hear for me. She was just annoying. She did everything was Edelgard, and I get that. I like how they ran with it. I will say that, like, they ran with that. When you make a character a certain way and that's all you do with them, it's the reason I kind of like Raphael and Caspar. They're true to themselves. But oh my god, it was just too much. It was just very Fates. I didn't like it. Do we ever learn why she's obsessed with Edelgard? Yeah, it's because we saved her, but she credits Edelgard as the one saving her life. But to think that never actually happens in Three Houses, which, in my opinion, I don't even get why. Like, I never saw Monica as a character that needed to be like playable. Like, when she died, I didn't realize she was like this important character that needed to be part of the students. That's like I saw her as a senpai that was like they said, that came like from a previous year. I didn't think she would be part of the cast. Like, in the same way Host needed to. It felt so unnecessary. I don't. They just wanted to add another. It makes sense. They wanted to add another waifu for Black Eagles, because Black Eagles is the most played route, and waifu emblem players play that route the most, so they had to get another one. And what's their favorite archetype? Having two characters that they want to ship with each other and make it so obvious that they could be a ship, and they just, yeah, that's how that comes off when they made Monaco. Like, oh, we have Bernie, Petra, Dorothy, and Edelgard. Let's add another one and let her be obsessed with Edelgard. And it's like we already had that with Dorothea a little bit. Or Dorothea even gives those vibes to every character in her route. So we have it even more, and it's just like, it's too much. It's like, I just want Blue Lions. Just stop making everyone so like acting like a bunch of high schoolers. It's annoying. Not in my Fire Emblem, come on. Anyway, Yuritsa. Yuritsa is an amazing character. Well, he used to be in favorite because he has my favorite support in 3 Houses. But after thinking about it, I don't think he's that crazy. I think I just like the idea of Yuritsa because he's so cool, so strong. But yeah, I think he's okay. He's a good character. I like his whole thing that he's trying to fight against his inner demons, and he killed his father, which is crazy, and he feels he has to like make up for that by becoming the Death Knight and eventually dying to somebody that's strong. So he looks for strong people and he likes that. I think that's cool. Yeah. Edelgard's dad, who? Ferdinand's dad. Ludwig van Eyre. Ludwig van Eyre. Ludwig van Eyre. I am Ludwig van Eyre, and I will defeat you all. I am Ludwig van Eyre, and I will defeat you all. Ferdinand, you must not defeat me. I am your father, Ferdinand. I am your father. You can't defeat me, Ferdinand. Shut the heck up. This guy, I feel like I wanted him to get a redemption arc, and then he never did. I don't know if that impression was good or not. It was probably terrible, but this guy had the funniest voice, but he was such a terrible character. They didn't do anything with him. Like, he was kind of interesting, but then it's like, they just don't do anything. I'll put him here. Or here. Well, he's not a who, but he's an eh. Is he an eh? Is he an eh? I don't know. I think he's an eh. But he's kind of a meme eh. I'll put him in here. Randolph. Who? Literally? No. We need another tier for this. We need another tier for this. That's how bad it is. There we go. Why? Why was he the what? Why was he the one who died? What? I don't get it. Same with his sister. Who? Why? What? Like, 3 Hopes made no sense. They brought them back and then they didn't even do anything with them. Like, they want you to, like, oh, remember them? They're those 3 generic generals that are, you know, part of Edelgard's army, and we don't do anything with them. And we don't even give Caspar any reaction to it. It's like, what? Makes no sense. We never saw the original Arendelle, so I'm not gonna put him. Ladislava. She's a who too, honestly. But she doesn't just randomly die, so, you know. Metal Day. He's actually funny. I would say, like, Todd Happergorn does a good job voicing him. He's funny. Yeah. He's just there. He's a cool design, they don't do anything with him. I feel like he's part of the Imperial Army, but wait, where is he in the— wait, why wasn't Metal D the— wait, why wasn't this guy part of the army? Like, why wasn't he playable? Huh? Why was Monaco playable? He should have been playable. He has a cool design. He's always with Edelgard, but I feel like where even is he in the Crimson Flower route and in the— wait, I'm so confused. Like, where is he? Did we kill him in Black Eagle's route and I'm forgetting in any of the games? Because I don't remember. He's like a general they do nothing with. He has a portrait, but he's like kind of like those old Fire Emblem, like, main generals who fight, but they're not really a main, but they have a portrait, they have like one moment, and it's like, oh, this guy, Count Varley, he's just as he's more bearable than his daughter, though. I will say that. He was kind of funny, but he's still meh. I feel like the Death Knight should be a separate character, because the Death Knight is kind of funny. I'm gonna put him in narrating tier. Count Burgleys? Count Burgleys was kind of cool. He was fine. I don't know if I liked him. And then, Hevring, that's that his name? He was kind of cool. So, they're kind of just meh. The adults in that route were kind of eh. Like Lasagna and Fairy Tail brought back to do nothing. Yeah, he just gets killed. Let's save the Ashen Wolves for last. Let's skip to this creepo from the Three Hells. He's... I did not like him. He's a... like, he seemed interesting, but it was he's just weird. Like, they didn't execute him right. He's just like, whatever. Oh, Abyss Keeper? I love Abyss Keeper. He's actually just as... like, that's the one time where they made the joke again, but it actually was still funny. Like, I actually... at first, I was like, this is dumb, but then I actually liked him more than Gatekeeper. It's weird that I liked Abyss Keeper even more. Talus grew on me a little more from Three Houses, only because he was more relevant, but he's still not a good character. But I kind of like him. Like, he's cool, but he's not good. This is where I would use this tier. Like, I like him. He's a likable villain, but he's like a King Garen. Like, he's just whatever. Solon is a meme, so I'll put him in eh. Because he is kind of a meme. He has a funny line in Smash. Does that count? It's just kind of evil. Cornelia was so interesting, and then they killed her off. Her lore of her being a guy that's like a Slither is so crazy to me. And her thing with Happy and stuff. Like, she could have been a main villain. There's all these main villains that they don't make the main villain. Like, why isn't she the main villain? She's so good. Like, if Talus was, she should have been. Like, I like Cornelia a lot, but they don't do anything with her. In fact, I think I could put her in good. Because she actually was good in Three Hopes, but they just didn't do much with her still. Krania, who? She's another. She kills your dad, that's it. She's a plot device. That's like the most easiest plot device. Like, easily, we'll just say the Nemesis. I miss my boy. Why is he just gonna be a DLC? Why didn't they bring Nemesis? I love Nemesis. He's like Talus. He's cool. He's not really have anything to him, but he's so cool. I love Nemesis. He comes with the best final battle theme, so... Mycen? What the heck Mycen's here? He's a meme too. Let's put him up here, Mycen. Freaking Mycen. Oh look, this guy. He could go up here too. Rest in peace to his voice actor. That's... What's his name? I forgot. Brigand Boss. Freaking... What's his name again? This guy? This guy has such a weird voice. He's so dumb. He's such a coward. He's so stupid. Palardo. I'll put him up here too. Anna. Now, this is not my favorite version of Anna, but one part that sticks out to me is when it's like her only interesting part. It's like, she has an S tier, condolence for your dad dying, unlike Hubert. And that was surprising to me, so I actually like that. So I'm gonna put her on like. She's definitely not a good Anna, but I still like Anna's Anna. Anna's hot, she's cool. She's iconic. Shez. Oh, Shez! This is actually the one I'm actually really interested in ranking. Let's go with Shez. Shez? I think I'm gonna put him in good. He's a good character. He actually was like if this was like a protagonist tier list, I'll put him up here because there's not a lot of good ones. But for this, he's not gonna be like. I think he was a good character. He had a solid, has good supports. He did what Byleth should have been in 3 Houses. He's not like he has his own distinguished personality, except when they said it's all from books. Apparently, from what he says, that was stupid, and I just want to ignore that and not act like that was an excuse to make it seem like, oh, if he doesn't say what the player agrees with, then he's just all making it up and letting it be based on a book. That was stupid. We're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. That support was dumb. I think that was the Lysithea support, but he was good. I liked him. He's a likable protagonist. In fact, let's put female shows. I liked her even better. There we go. What, they have 2 forms? What the heck? Oh, is that like the evil one? What the heck? Arvel. Arvel was I did not like Arvel. He was annoying. His voice was annoying. Partners in Destiny. You were supposed to be like in the trailer. I was actually excited. I'm like, who is this? Is this gonna be like a character we get so attached to and get sad? No. You were annoying, and you kind of grew on me. I feel a little bad for you, but that's it. I don't hate any character, but he's definitely my least favorite. Epimenides, cool concept. It should have been a Sophist versus this, but it's just like, what? I guess, as well. Oh, look. The 3... Captain Burling, and other lady that was part of Captain Burling, and the guy who talks to you in the beginning. The design is dope. For Epimenides, I will say, not for Arvel. It feels like it needs the full thing to look cool. You could tell I needed that. Making a move on Hilda? Yup. Making a move on Hilda. I wonder how female shows says that. I'm interested. Okay. Here we go, Ashen Wolf's time. They finally got their time to shine. They're finally getting their popularity because people who didn't get to play the DLC gets to see them here. And oh my goodness. Oh, I actually get to compare their post-time skip. I never really looked side by side. I think Yuri actually looks cooler in 3 Hopes. So let's go with that. Yuri is a favorite. I love Yuri. He kind of went up and down a bit. Like, he was in favor and amazing. I think he's actually, like, I remember really loving him in 3 Houses. Like, I remember liking him more than Claude, because he's like what Claude should have been. He's very cool. My brother loves him. It was his first time experiencing him, because he didn't really play the DLC. He played like a little bit and then never completed it. He said he loved him a lot in 3 Hopes, and he didn't even finish it yet. And he's great. I like how he has like connect. I like how the Ashen Wolves all add extra lore, so they all have to be connected to someone. He has lore with Lord, not a lore with Lord Ronaldo. Like that's such a tongue twister. He has lore with Lord Ronaldo and Ash. He has and Catherine. Well, not Catherine, more so just she was there in the prologue. He has things with Ingrid, Dorothea. He's a childhood friend with Bernadetta. That's really cool. His dynamic with the other Ashen Wolves are amazing. I like how he kind of had. At first, I didn't like it, but then I kind of read something that made me. I read his Fire Emblem Heroes description that made me understand him more. So he has this trait where he acts like it kind of annoys me like Hubert, but if I could forgive Hubert for it, I definitely could forgive Yuri because he's definitely a more good character as far as like, you know, morals. He's protective of the weak, but then he gives like this vibe like he'll like cut you down, you know, but it's kind of just like a facade he puts on so he could protect people, and like he likes being like to put himself up as that so he could intimidate others, but he's not very like, not really like, you know, like yeah, he has a dark side to him, but I don't think it's like he kind of just hypes it up as that. I think it's more like a facade. I could be wrong, but I think that's where they're trying to go with him. Overall, he's a nice character as he looks after the weak. I like his whole thing with his mom. He uses a fake name. Kind of just like Claude. It's like they just added the Claude and added more Claude to him. It's weird. What gender's Arvel? Happy's her own category. We'll get to that. I find his way of speaking annoying, but that might just be me. Arvel? I don't know if I'm reading that late. Or Yuri. I think you guys are talking about Arvel. Yeah, Yuri's just, he's good. He's such a good character. All his supports are good. His bromance with Balthus is good. Very cool. Very cool character. Balthus, my boy, the king of grappling. I think I'm gonna put him in good. It's like I like him so much as a unit. He's so cool, but like he's not anything crazy. He's kind of just there. But he's a good character. I like his trope of being like he has to pay back people. He's always in debt. But I like how he has a connection with joining the Empire because something with his mom. I think that's like kind of interesting. I like how he's trying to find out a secret about Claude or something, right? And he knows something. He wants to get to know him more, so that's interesting. I like how he's the Golden Deer rep. So anything gold, he's like a true Golden Deer. He's like the odd, an extra Golden Deer. So he's definitely gonna. No wonder I like him so much. He adds to the family of my boys. I guess in another universe, I probably would have wanted him to replace Raphael and been like what Raphael was. But it's fine. We got Host because of that, so they're besties instead of Ignatz. It would have not made sense anyway. I think Raphael bounces more with Ignatz better than Balthus would have, but. Very cool design. Very fun unit. He's the king of grappling. His relic is so cool. I know that has nothing to do with his character, but it does help. His design in Three Hopes is so cool. I like the bandana. The outfit just looks better in my opinion. Yuri, unfortunately, I still like him, but nitpick. Yeah, I think what you feel is kind of how I felt. His way of speaking annoyed. I think that's what it was. His way of speaking used to kind of annoy me too, but I'm having a good day right now, so I'll give him S tier. But yeah, Balthus. His relationship with Host and Hilda, like, it's very cool. His bromance with Host is amazing. Hilda, he has cool supports. Claude, I like how Lawrence, his support was interesting. It went into like, oh, you're a noble, a fallen noble, but the way you act is like that of a mercenary. I think that's so cool and interesting. He's cool. I like him. Constance is weird because it's like if we're going, she kind of grew on me. She used to be my least, let that sink in, my least favorite character in the game. because she was so annoying to me. But it's like her peppy side, at least it grew on me. Her sad side I actually liked more. And also I just prefer her post time skip much more, and her mid skip. I do not like her pre time skip that much. I think it didn't help her being annoying and having that, but she gets much prettier later. Constance, I just noticed they flipped her around. Yeah, she looks so different in all three. Like, they really changed her design around for all of them. She gets like the biggest glow up, in my opinion. Her Japanese voice made me love her peppy side more. Like, she's so much better. Like, similar to Mercedes, she's so much better in Japanese. But I could tolerate her English because it's actually good. It's just that it's a little annoying sometimes. I will say though that her Mercedes support, her being like another friend of Mercedes, was interesting to me. But I like, oh, so much, that whole little group I was getting more into. Like in Crimson Flower, like the whole Mercedes, Yuritsa, Constance, a little bit of Annette. Now we're going into Three Hopes. Like I got attached to them more, so I like that little group. She's funny. I like her a lot. I like her sad version more. It's funnier. So I'm gonna put her sad version of her time skip in good, cause it's like, similar to Mercedes, I kind of forgot how good she was in Japanese. I need to see her supports again. She's a contender to being amazing. To be honest, like, I don't know. She's very tropey. She's like a Fates character, but done good, if that makes sense. Like, she's straight out of Fates, but she's just in a game with better writing. That's the best way to do it. It's a very good design, though. I like how it's like blonde, but like blue strips. That's so cool. Looks so pretty. And last but not least, Happy. Definitely going with this one. Happy is my favorite Three Houses character, favorite Three Hopes character, favorite Fodlan character, and my second favorite Fire Emblem character of all time, my favorite female character of all time. She's just a very, like, I can't believe a DLC character could be this good. Her lore is interesting. The whole thing with Cornelia, that's why I hate that Cornelia, they didn't go into that. I think that's so cool. She has a trope, but that trope does not define her. It's literally there, and I agree it's dumb, but like, it doesn't even take away from the character. That's what I like. Like, she's such a good character that even though she has a dumb trope, that it's just, in a way, it's just kind of cool because it's so random and dumb, but it doesn't really ruin her character. This is what I like about Happy, is that she's a character, she has a very Shamir effect, which I was talking about before. She's a blunt character, but she's not a mean character. But even more so a Happy, what I like about Happy is that she might be the kindest character in the cast, and a lot of people might not even know that. Like, she's a very sweet character, and that gets shown in the fact that she doesn't even seek revenge on Cornelia. If anything, she wants to just stay away from her, like, just like kind of like whatever happens to her, she doesn't really like care. Like, she doesn't even want to face her. Like, most characters in this game want revenge and they want to, like, this lady ruined her life and she's not even like holds a grudge, and I respect that. That's a very, very respectable, like, that's something we all could learn from. It's not good to hold a grudge, and she doesn't hold a grudge. Like, she's actually just, she's a very pleasant character. She's to the point that she took a character like Bernadetta, and there was a whole support without Bernadetta screaming in a C support. A C support. She screams in every C support, and Happy is so chill and such a good vibe. She brings the best out of every character, that she brought a character like Bernadetta to not like freak out. Sure, she freaked out by the end, but that's Bernadetta's fault for being stupid. But it's just crazy. She freaking I never been so satisfied to see a character made completely out like a fool than Hubert being made out like a fool by Happy. If you could do that to Hubert, which is like a character that's like usually makes fool of other people, you're goated. I'm sorry. And it's not even done in a way that's annoying, because it's like Hubert's always sassing people. So like for Happy to sass Hubert and then they get all along anyway at the end, it's like, it's just victory on Happy's end. She has all these little nicknames for Dorothea. I mean, for Dorothea, like Dorothea. But it's to the point I even forget they both have that same quality, because they're so different from each other. But it just hit me that Dorothea and Happy almost have the same drawing. Like, they look like their face was drawn exactly the same and altered. Doesn't it look like that? But yeah, like, all her nicknames are so funny. That's the thing. And then, like I said, Dorothy only gives nicknames to those who she's close with. Happy just gives it to everybody. You're getting a nickname if you know her. And that's what's so funny. I love the whole chatterbox thing. I think that's so hilarious. She's a funny character. What I like about Happy, she has everything you could like about a character. Like, hold on, give me a second. Like, she has everything. That's why I like her so much. She has depth to her. Drop this stuff, because I'm freaking getting text messages. She has a funny side to her, a comedic side to her, right? She's an incredibly funny character. She's a relatable character. She has lore that's interesting and like actually like important to and it's to Blue Lions, which is like the best place to get lore from. She has to do with the Slithers technically, which is interesting. So it's like she goes more into the lore with that. He's a kind character, so she brings out the best in everyone she supports with. Like, she could get along with everyone, which I think is really good. I like how she's still flawed though. Like, you could see it in her design. Like, at first she doesn't really take care of her hair. It's kind of all over the place. She kind of has bags under her eyes slightly. She's a tragic character, which shows like she has depth to her. Like, she has the whole thing with Cornelia getting like, she been through a lot. And here's my biggest like positive about Happy. Despite going through all that, she's such a positive and likable character. She doesn't take that out on other people. And like, despite having like something against the church, she's not very like vengeful towards them. She just wants them to change. Like, but she's not like someone that's like so like, oh, I hate these people. She only does so because of the way they are, and she just wants them to change. Anything else I'm missing? I'm trying to think. Oh, her being besties with Coco is cute. Her Ash, Dimitri, and Yuri support. I like her Yuri support a lot. It's very, I don't know, I like the whole atmosphere of it. What else? She gets a relic and hopes. I thought that was amazing. She gets Roti. That was really cool. Fantastic design. One of my favorite designs in all of Fire Emblem. I love the rogue cape design, the green. I like how she has the little like headband thing, so it gives like a very cultural vibe. The hair's amazing. The face is beautiful. It's just such a cool design. A very funny and cool name. I like how they play off of it. Sometimes it's very funny. So many memes could come out of it. Like, there's so much with this character you could do with. And what I like is that it actually makes sense of her gameplay. She's literally the most versatile character in Three Houses. Like, a lot of people say this. Like, she could become anything and become good in it. And it makes sense of her character because she's the ultimate support character. Like, she has good support with everyone, and she's the best support in your team. Like, you give her the Thyrsus, and like, she could be a Gremory, a Dark Knight, a Valkyrie, a freaking Wyvern Lord I made her. Like, she actually has she has the most strength out of all the mages in the game, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you make a character that's funny, relatable, good dynamics with people, good lore, good backstory, good, like, tragic, like, thing to them, good morals, which is not something I thought I'll say for a character, because just the fact that a character, like I said, she could forgive somebody enough to not seek revenge, while everyone in this game is like, freaking have a lord that two lords that are like pretty much seeking, that's like their main goal, to achieve what they want. It's very inspiring. She's a very inspiring woman of a character, and that's why Happy is my favorite, and why they make me happy. She makes everyone happy. I think that's why they named her Happy, because despite everything, she's still happy, and that's something we all could learn from. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This is my tier list of Fodlan, 3 houses, 3 hopes. This is how I feel about everyone in the cast. Fodlan was such a great journey, it became such a big part of my channel. I think we all could say, regardless how we feel about 3 houses, it was a big part of what made my channel early on. I mean, it basically took off from there. After the whole Shantae arc, it was probably the Fire Emblem and 3 houses portion of my channel. After this, we're gonna take a small break until I could get Radiant Dawn to work. So we might play something else for now, maybe Fodlan Saga, maybe I'll find a new game to play, but yeah, as far as Fodlan, that's it. This is the closing chapter of Fodlan. Until next Fire Emblem game comes out, I wonder what it's gonna be. Are we gonna get another character as great as Happy again? Will I have a new waifu? I don't know, but it was an amazing experience, and 3 Houses will always be one of my favorite Fire Emblem games on a personal level, for just having such a big impact on my channel and on my life overall. Very, very good cast, very good story, very good world. I loved it. Very good video games. With that being said, like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff. And I've been the chosen one, and I'll see you, Nintendo. Stay happy. God bless. I love you all. Have a wonderful night. Have a happy night.